All right, Shane here, daily-astrocat.com, and it's time for some astrology. So let's go. Let's get it going, because it's Sunday, the 19th of October. So what do we got going on here? Well, our moon is going to enter Libra at 12:01 in the morning. Now, I'm already under the influence of this moon because this is late. I do these things late at night because that's kind of the way I am. All right, so I'm feeling a return to balance and order in some way, and this is what I'm feeling. There was a huge turnout for protests across the United States yesterday, and this is a very Libra expression as well. So I'm returning to some sort of balance and equilibrium, and you should be feeling about the same way too. Now, why is this? Well, I told you that the Libra season felt like it was being overshadowed by the presence of Mars in Scorpio, making all sorts of aspects and conjunctions, mostly with the planets that were in there, mostly being Haumea, Black Moon Lilith, and we had Vesta, and we had Hera in there as well. Some of those have moved on, so we're not quite in those things, and not quite in those aspects, and we're going to cover that probably tomorrow when I preview the new moon in Libra. I already have the Libra forecast that has some of that in there, but I want to talk more about some of the movements that we're having, particularly Mercury and Mars, because Mercury's going to overtake Mars, but only for a second. We're going to get into that, all right? So let's talk about this, because we told you about that overshadowing part, right? Now we're stepping into the real Libra season, just as we're realizing the rewards of our intense personal efforts. I'm starting to feel it, right? Whatever they may be, whatever your efforts may be. Maybe you participated in organizing some of that stuff yesterday. Maybe you're just focused on 3D things that are totally not of that genre, that ilk, right? So today's keyword is replenishment. And the color is a soft gray. Now, this is the balance that we've been seeking, believe it or not. Partners, families, the sports season, or maybe even in national or international affairs. Balanced, right? Some things are starting to get back. Look, they're all going to start feeling the bend towards justice, right? That long moral arc of the universe that Martin Luther King used to talk about. Justice, fairness, and the restoration of a natural order. Now, the kite that we've been talking about, that talent trine kite between Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, and Venus, now the moon joins that, right? Now, Venus is just starting to exit out of that, but the moon will grab her back into it. And that keeps on soaring upward. Now, with that upward momentum, we're going to find that we're going to get that uplifting of spirits, our spirits, right? We may have been feeling like, wow, we're just no, we're not overwhelmed. We're just getting more into it, right? Our frequency is elevating and things are catching up with us. Okay, so 3D upgrades will lead to more freedom. 5D upgrades, right, will enlighten and inform. Meditate on this thought, okay? We do things to make things to give us more freedom in our lives, right? The more successful we are, the more freedom we gain. The upgrades to our spirit and our vibration, those are something that we can't keep in any longer, right? Once we meditate on this, we send our peace and love out to the entire collective. And I do that with every single broadcast of daily-astrocat.com. For you and for everyone you know and everyone you love. Okay, so this is a beautiful time of the year. Changes that are driving us will no longer feel like they're born out of intense personal feelings. All right? Instead, like, proving ourselves or crushing the competition. Okay. Now the changes begin to mature into something solid. That's a Jupiter-Saturn trine thing, right? We're starting to get that solidification of what it is that we're desiring and what it is we want to do, and the empathy we're feeling, and the ability that we have to be able to not only convey this, but to embody this and then make it part of what it is that we do, part of our home structure, right? Because Jupiter in Cancer is all about that home, all about protecting who we are. There's that defensive kind of crab thing, right? That hard shell. Well, this adds to that shell, and it doesn't add to it in a bad way. The shell is actually there so that we can allow ourselves the strength to help nurture others, okay? So that's very important, family, things like that. That's why today's great for that, right? Sunday is going to be great for that. Now that we talked about that, but don't be fooled or lulled into believing all of the talk, okay? That's Mercury conjunct and then surpassing Mars, okay? We're going to hear talk. We're going to feel talk. We're going to be able to communicate much better after later on today, right? As we start getting into the night, we can feel this beginning to build. You wouldn't know this by the way I've tripped over some of my words now, but this will start to begin happening. Don't be fooled, okay? Mercury will be slowing down. Mercury is going to go retrograde, and Mars is going to be right back in that position we were at. So, maintain your intuitive edge and your inner fire. Fully accelerate into the future. Don't be fooled by Mercury passing it by. Mercury's a trickster, right? Can lull you into thinking, you got it. No, don't relax. Foot on the gas, okay? And we consider reaching out with our words rather than actions. This is not an either or, okay? Think about it. Put your words into action. Better, right? Not let the words surpass the actions, not let the words become what the action is. Put the two of them together. Put the words into action. This will yield a larger return on our personal investments. Oh, got it for you, right? Now, before we wrap this all up, appreciate and love every single one of you, okay? Love the comments. S. Diamond, that was a great comment about the basic structures, the basic aspects and everything. And, we do tend to go intermediate to advanced here. So, I try to reintroduce the fundamentals with just not every episode, but we try to weave all that stuff together to make a very interesting presentation for everybody who's interested in astrology, no matter what level you happen to be at. Okay? And that's an important thing. So, let's get into our historical event, okay? In 1901, Edward Elgar's Pomp and Circumstance March premieres in Liverpool, England. Now, a couple days later, they played it in London. Got a couple of ovations, right? It was a very popular piece. Now, interestingly enough, how did it become played at graduations in the United States? Well, Yale University in 1905 presented Elgar with an honorary degree, and they played it at their graduation when he spoke on receiving the honorary degree. And this happened in 1905. It's always in 1905, right? Einstein's theories, 1905. That's crazy, right? Big time. So, not only that, but then our birth is on this day in 1910. Subramanian Chandrasekhar from India. He's an astrophysicist. He won the Nobel Prize in 1983 for his work on the structure and evolution of stars. He's born in Lahore, British India, and he died in 1995. Now, the Chandra X-ray Observatory, NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory, was a flagship space telescope launched by NASA in 1999. And it is named after Subramanian Chandrasekhar. And it was in honor of he was a Nobel Prize winning astrophysicist and his work on evolution of the stars. And that's all we have for you. All right, so let's recap. Our color is a soft gray because those Libra things love those soft tones, pastels, and soft colors. Why not a soft gray, right? And our keyword is replenishment, as in we're going to replenish ourselves today with some really, really nice balancing kind of behaviors. I like that. Today is a 7. Happy astrocatting.